Okay, we're going to create the color transition, and here's how you do it. So this is the before slide. We're trying to figure out a way to get rid of the bullet points and make the information a little bit more engaging or dynamic for the audience. So here is the after. We have a series of numbers that will color in and highlight the information, which is 38,000 students in the district. And then we'll transition and the numbers will change into 90%. So that's the look and feel, and let's get on to the tutorial. So as you can see right here, I've created the same slide over a few times. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the first slide. And how I created this was basically I just created a series of numbers, as you can see here, with different sizes, and also changed the transparency on some of them. So on format shape, text options, you can see over here the 8 is 20%. If I bring it back up, then there's no longer transparency. I rotated some of the numbers, the 5 and the 4 here, so it's really up to you how you want to do it. But the nice thing is once you create it once, then you just duplicate it a few times and you're good to go with the basically template part of the slides. So I'm going to go to the second slide here. So first slide here, and I made a copy, and I already created some information, which is 38,000 students in the district. And then all I'm going to do here is change the 3, go to home, to this bright yellow, and then come over and highlight the 8 and do the same thing. On the 8, I want to go to text options and change the transparency to 0%. And there's that one. And then I'm going to go to the next slide. And on this one, I've created text that says 90%. Put it around that area. And now I'm going to change the 9. So highlight the 9 to a yellow, and the 0 to a yellow. And these are already at full. There's no transparency on them, so they're good to go. So then I'm going to come back to the 38,000 information, and I'm going to create a transition. So I'm going to click fade, and I'm going to change it from 0.7 to 1.5 and hit enter, and then do the same thing with the 90%, a fade, and you can see right here it's 1.5. I'm going to go back to the first slide, and we're going to play and watch this color transition again. So transition into 38,000, and then it transitions into 90%. And if we go back to the original, there also was some information about 85% or 76%. So there's a bunch of information that's on there. But if we come back to the 90%, you can start having a little bit more engagement with the audience. So for example, you can say, well, what do you think the percentage is with math? And this is a different way. So they're looking at numbers and they're like, well, maybe is it 52% or 89 or 65? In their mind, obviously, they're just kind of talking about that. And then you can say, actually it's 76%. And I'd see how to change the picture to kind of a red gradient, which just has a little bit of a different tone, and saying that the numbers have decreased or something like that over the last few years. So an interesting way to kind of showcase your data in a way that's not using the bullet point that everybody's used to. And that's the tutorial.